So this is an original strand of the wall. Unbelievable. Now, this building here, the wall was cut away, right? So they made a cut there. They made a cut there. On the other side of this hotel is just the riverfront. And I guarantee you this was all grass until 1989 when they took it down. Now, this would have been the west side. Now, on the west side, historically, people did do the spray paint and the colors and everything when the Berlin Wall was still active. But on this side, being on the east side of Berlin, there would have never been any color. It would all be like black. It would all just be gray. It would just be gray tone because they wouldn't let the East Berliners write anything on it, even approach it. So this is all done after reunification. It's weird, not weird. I think it's a good thing they kept some of it up because I've seen it at the Reagan Museum. I've seen it at some other museums where there have been pieces of it. So if you look, they brought them here in these sections, and I would say from this point, for this seam to this seam is probably 3.5 to 4 feet sections. So they probably fabricated them and then they put them up there. Now, if you look at other pictures or newsreels, not only will you see how that berm, it bows out on the top like that to prevent people from climbing over, but then they would reinforce it with barbed wire, concertina wire, curled looped barbed wire would be up there too to keep people from the east defecting to the west. So Julie just pointed out, so if you see something like this, you go down here and there's a QR code and it will link you to the artisan who did this.
Dad, watch out.
There's another cool section. And it just goes on. I did not expect it to be this long. I was expecting maybe 20, 40 feet of it, but this goes on for a while. You could walk on the other side and there's other artwork on the other side. It would have been very interesting to have seen this immediately after, because I guarantee you this was all just gray. Looks like this is a blank canvas for somebody to work on now. Let me see how far I can show you. It goes as far as my camera's going to focus on that way. And then the direction of travel, we were coming from this direction. Way down there. I wish I can do an aerial view of this, but a little bit hard to explain. But like I said, the only thing on the other side of this would have been a maybe about 30, 40 yards of grass, and then the river, and then West Berlin. I'm not standing in the street, so I'm safe. This is the median. But there are some sections of the wall that have been taken out, but this is just massive. Julie and Olivia are right there. That's Julie and Olivia right there. But yeah, I'm glad I came down here tonight. I've always been fascinated with how they divided it, during the Cold War. And I've seen renditions of the wall. I've seen pieces of the wall in different exhibits, but this is where it was exactly standing. And somebody just had the foresight saying, let's leave some of it up. And people have been painting murals on it ever since. We're going to cross the street now. I'm going to show you what it would look like, how close the river is. So going back in time, this is kind of interesting here. So going back in time, if this wall was complete, once again, this would be East German side. And look at the footing here was real shallow, if you know what I mean. And this shows you the footing over here is real shallow. This is the ones I've seen on other displays. It goes really deep on this side, and it follows suit all the way down. And this is interesting because this is all white. That's all clear. Kind of gives you an example here. So there's the river that we're looking at. There's East Berlin. So we'd be looking into East Berlin. If you jump the wall, You have the river, and then you have West Berlin. Go walk down this way. They cut out a little gate. I'm sure that was done after the reunification. So here's just an example. I don't know why they took a section. I guess as they took sections out, they replaced them here. But this is not where it was originally standing. These are just sections that they replaced or relocated rather. What I do find interesting though is that the backside of this one, at first when I was filming, it's all white. Except maybe some design down there. Maybe they're just gonna redo it. And then it continues on down there. And there's another museum down there. It's closed right now, but it goes about another couple of blocks. There's a museum down there. So if you lived over there in East Berlin, you'd be looking at that wall, looking over your family's over here in West Berlin. The wall does jump the river in a few places though. So sometimes the wall could be on that side of the river. Sometimes it was on this side of the river.